Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I have something for you guys here. Teen blew off woman's head with an AR-15 over a fender bender. Now, without diving into the video, I can already tell you there's no father in the picture. There's not. Okay? There 100% is not. Because a father will not have their young child wearing having that type of haircut. No, not a boy. We don't do that. But just the whole situation just already sounds crazy. But let's get into it. If you guys like the video, like my commentary, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I can pull some wisdom out of this so we can all do better and live better and become better people. But the first piece of wisdom, without watching the video, make sure that you keep your father in the child's life. Please. Okay? Stuff like this will not happen if a young boy has a masculine figure in his life to look up to, especially a father.
A Colorado boy only 14 years old when he shoots and kills a mother after a minor fender bender.
Ma'am, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt, okay? I'm Officer Leffer with the Denver Police Department, okay?
Just hours after shooting her in cold blood, he cries to his own mother at the police station.
I'm sorry, Mom.
She told you, it's no father. It's the mother and the kid. This is so. This is really, really sad.
No.
Today's case takes us to Denver, Colorado, where on February 20th,
And shout out to Law and Crime. It's a new channel that I just saw. I will link the video in the description. A lot of information out there, man. Lots of people doing crazy stuff, and lots of uh, minds that we can analyze on the world's greatest minds. Let's go.
2021, 32-year-old Pamela Cabriales was on her way home from dinner with a friend. According to local TV station KUSA, Pamela's family says she was extremely giving, passionate, and loving. They describe her as a social butterfly who was always there if you needed her. Pamela worked as a real estate agent, and she was also a mother to her 6-year-old son, Leo.
Did you guys hear that? Mother to her 6-year-old son. Where's the father in all these situations? And I know people will say, "Oh, it's the men's fault because they leave." No, no. Most men would love to be in their children's life. They just don't want to be in a woman's life. They just don't want to deal with the woman. All right. In a lot of cases, they have no problem with their kids. They have no problem taking care of the kids. And if you actually look into it, there's a lot of scenarios, and most of them are like this, where the woman is actually using the kid to go after the man. All right. So they drop all of that. That's not what happens. That's just a stereotype. We need to drop stereotypes. All of them needs to go.
Was that champagne, no?
This part does.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy.
In pictures and in videos, Pamela seems happy and full of life. But all of that changed 4 years ago.
When people say stuff like, "Oh, this person that was alive seemed like they were full of life," it's just, well, yeah, they're alive. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
This month, Pamela was behind the wheel of her Range Rover, driving along Interstate 25 that goes right through Denver. When she stopped at a red light at an intersection of I-25 and Colfax, shots rang out. We now know the person shooting was then 14-year-old Remy Cordova. Cordova was in the passenger seat of another car that was driven by this guy named Nishan Johnson. Cordova
I can already tell where this is going.
had thought that the car had been tapped by Pamela's in a small fender bender. And according to court docs, he said, quote, "Can I bust on them?" Johnson then replied, "Do what you gotta do. That's on you." According to KUSA, Cordova got
What type of friends do you guys have? Do what you got to do. You know, one of the things that's been an absolute blessing to me is I have friends that call me out on my BS. I was about to say um, and they have no problem telling me when I'm wrong. They have no problem telling me when I'm being illogical. They have no problem telling me, "Hey, man, listen, you're a Christian. Like you're over here crying about life and everything like that. Why aren't you trusting God that He's going to do what He said He's going to do?" And my friends and these people I'm talking about are not even Christian, right? So I'm absolutely blessed to be able to have people like that in my life. And then you look at this, and this person is like, "Oh, do what you got to do." You mean get get the police involved, get their insurance information, things of that nature, take pictures, not that, but instead to grab a gun and shoot someone? This is stupid, man.
Got out of the car with an AR-15 and fired 15 to 20 shots into Pamela's Range Rover. Witnesses
That is wild. And you know what's crazy? People talk about, oh, a lot of these kids are doing these things because of poverty. As someone who is, born into a relatively poor family, I still knew better. Okay. I don't know where people are getting these type of excuses from for people who make bad decisions. There's a lot of people who are poor and they choose to do the right things all the freaking time. All these excuses talking about, hey, poverty and blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, parents, if you cannot afford kids, do not have kids. It's as simple as that. But y'all want to be effing all the time, Poor people, we love effing. Well, I'm not gonna say we. I'm not poor anymore. All right. Maybe monetarily, but mentally, I'm not poor anymore. Shout out to all the rich people mentally. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to us.
on the scene say at first they didn't even know what was happening.
Then I heard pop, 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 pop. And at first, it didn't register what was happening until the cars in the 2 lanes next to me started going. And then I realized I said, oh shit, something's happening. And I ducked down, and several more happened. And I pulled next to the car, barely got a glance. It looked as though the window was either rolled down or shot out, but I believe that the window was out. I didn't look at the windshield or see inside the vehicle. And then the car that was in front of them sped off. I went behind them, but pretty far back because they went pretty quickly, and got off on Federal. So they went straight, and I got off on Federal, and I didn't obviously see what occurred because the car was obstructing my view. So I didn't know at the time if the shots came from the car in front or inside the vehicle. But that's what I saw.
That's Jaden Aarons, who was driving home from an appointment at the time of the shooting.
You said you heard multiple pops. You went pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop. How many of those do you think you heard the first time?
I'm
in your
gonna
estimation?
call it 5 to 7, perhaps.
Okay, and then you said you ducked down and heard several more pops. How many more do you think you heard?
Perhaps 3.
Okay.
This is wild. And you know what's crazy? The only reason these type of situations happen is because young boys want to be men so badly, but because they're being raised by women, they don't know how to be men. Okay? There is a desire for a boy to feel like a man, to feel productive, to feel like he's accomplishing something as a man, stroking his masculine ego, if you will, right? And because they don't have men in their life to show them, hey, son, you could go and build something. You could play sports, right? Um, you could do something to improve the lives of the women around you, right? For example, my little brother, decided he wanted to like install a bidet, right, at my mom's house, and like just the whole situation, he didn't install it right. It fell into the toilet, and everyone starts freaking out. And my mom is like, I can't believe he did this. I'm like, but at the very least, he's trying to do something to not just help himself, but to help you, to help the entire family, so on and so forth. He's taking a step forward to benefit everyone. That is what masculinity is. And without having a man in the picture, and having a man to be able to look at and say, okay, so this is what I could do. And to be able to like funnel that energy towards the right things, this is what happens. You have all these boys that do emotional and make emotional decisions just like that, not knowing how to handle situations when these type of things happen. How do you some is let's say it's true that the car behind tapped the bumper, right? How do you just jump to that conclusion to pull out a gun and start shooting someone? First of all, at 14, where do you get a gun from? Like this entire situation is completely off. It's completely wrong. It should not be happening. But I remember when I was in elementary school, there was this whole talk, maybe middle school around there. There was this whole talk about, men need to stop being so hard on little boys. They need to be allowed to feel. You can't say, oh, you're a man and blah, blah, blah. Well, folks, this is what happens when men are emotional, young men. All right. This is what happens when boys are led by their emotions. This is what y'all wanted. So now we live in a world where when a girl says, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, a man starts cursing her out, start calling her the B word, start saying she this, she trash, she a hoe, she all of these things. Just because she says, no, I'm not interested. This is the outcome. Are you learning? It's very simple. Men are not supposed to let their emotions control them and consume them. Okay, we are supposed to channel it towards things and use logic. Okay, that's how we're supposed to operate. We can't handle that. Okay, we go crazy. You don't want to deal with a crazy man. All right, with great power comes great responsibility. The level of physical strength that men have, if we just let our emotion control every single thing, all we have is domestic violence all the freaking time. Okay, let's see if there's anything more we can get from this.
And the break in between the two was a second or two.
Okay.
That it paused.
Sure.
It wasn't very long.
And you never saw anybody get in or out of any vehicles?
No.
Okay.
I, in my mind, thought it was fireworks or something.
Sure.
And just wasn't paying attention.
When you go around the car you're in front of, why do you go around the car?
Because the other two cars did it, and I felt like I was in danger, and I heard the shots coming, and I was ducking down, and I thought maybe they were going to hit me. Okay. I was scared to go that way, because again, I didn't know if they were coming from that vehicle, but I couldn't go any other way, so.
This may seem like a really dumb question. If you can articulate it more, why did you feel you were in danger? Tell me more about that.
Because I recognized the sound of gunshots, and I thought perhaps one was going to hit me.
Were you scared?
Not really until after, because it didn't really register. It was definitely like weird, so I was like, my awareness was heightened, but it still didn't register.
Tell me more about why you ducked.
Because I thought I was going to get shot.
Okay.
All right, I know you're multitasking when you're watching our videos. And if you're out running errands, listen up. I have to tell you about this free app called Upside.
Okay. Shout out to them. This has been very insightful. I want to discover more of their videos. So if you guys like this, we can definitely do more. We probably will do more though, whether you like it or not. All right. I feel like that there's a lot of value in here. So hopefully you feel the same way that I do, and we're on the same page, and then we can blow this channel up. You know what I'm saying? Put some common sense back into the world. But without further ado, that's been my reaction. Those are my thoughts. Please, 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 please. If you're a lady, and you're watching this, please keep the father involved in the children's life. Okay. I know y'all might decide, oh, we're gonna leave because I'm unhappy. Nah, bump your unhappiness. Do it for the kids. Because in a lot of situations, unhappiness, all of that is fleeting. All right, it comes and it goes. Some days you feel happy, some days you feel sad. Is just what it is. That is life. Don't make permanent decisions based off of emotions because this can be the outcome, especially if you have kids. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.